chosen one. Stop what you are doing right now and lock every part of your attention on this message. That quiet ache you have been carrying, the one that whispers you are too much and not enough at the same time, I need you to put it down for the next few minutes. Because what I am about to say is going to rewrite the story the enemy has been narrating over your life. The enemy has been working overtime this week for one reason and one reason only. He has seen what God placed inside you, and he knows that the moment you recognize it, his entire assignment against your life collapses. It all ends here. The self-doubt, the comparison, the quiet grief of feeling like you were built for something you cannot quite name. But hear me clearly, it is not ending because of luck or because the timing finally aligned. It is ending because of what you have already done, what you have already carried, and what you have already survived. Think back to that moment this week when you looked at someone else's life, someone else's gift, someone else's path, and you felt that familiar shadow pass over your heart. You stepped back. You went quiet. You told yourself maybe you read the signals wrong. Maybe you imagined it. Maybe the calling you felt was never meant for you. You did not know it then. But that moment of pulling back was not defeat. That was discernment. That was your spirit refusing to trade its original frequency for a counterfeit. You did not shrink. You protected something sacred. You did not delay your destiny. You guarded it. You did not find this recording by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here. God did. This is a divine appointment that was written before you had a name, before you took your first breath, before the foundations of this earth were set. You are standing at the threshold of the clearest moment of self-recognition you have ever had. Do not click away. Your future self is on the other side of this message, and if you leave now, you walk away from the one conversation that was designed to make everything finally make sense. In the next few minutes, I am going to deliver the divine verdict over your specific gift, the one that has made you feel isolated, misunderstood, and at times like a stranger, even among people who love you. I am going to show you the exact moment this week where God confirmed what he placed in you, even when you were convinced he had forgotten. And at the end, I am going to give you a declaration so precise it will seal the enemy's mouth over the assignment he has launched against your identity. Stay until the very last second. I know what the last 72 hours have felt like. The atmosphere has not just been still, it has been pressing. Like something is sitting on your chest that you cannot name and cannot shake. Maybe you were lying in bed this week, staring at the ceiling at 3:00 inches the morning, not anxious about a bill or a relationship or a problem you could solve, just awake, just heavy, just aware of something stirring that felt too large to carry and too important to ignore. Or maybe you were in the middle of a conversation with someone and you felt it again, that strange, sharp awareness that you were seeing something they were not seeing, feeling something they could not feel, operating on a frequency that no one around you seemed to be tuned into. And instead of that feeling making you confident, it made you feel alone. You feel like you exist in a gap between the person you have always been and the person you were designed to become, between the gift you sense in your bones and the world that has not yet made room for it. And in that gap, the enemy has been whispering a very specific lie. Listen carefully to the thoughts that have followed you this week. He has been telling you that what you feel inside you is arrogance, that calling it a gift is pride, that the reason no one has fully seen it or celebrated it is because it was never really there. He keeps replaying that moment when you tried to step forward and it did not land the way you expected. That moment when you shared something deep and it was met with silence. That moment when you offered what felt like your most authentic self and the room moved on without noticing. The accuser has been using those moments as evidence. He has built an entire case around them, and his verdict is this, that you are ordinary. that what you thought was a calling is just wishful thinking, that you have spent years believing in something God never actually said. But I need you to hear what the Word of God actually says about this moment. Romans 11:29 declares, "The gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable." Irrevocable. That means it cannot be undone by your silence. It cannot be cancelled by your worst week. It cannot be revoked by the people who failed to recognize it, the rooms that did not receive it, or the seasons where it felt completely buried. God did not give you this gift with a return policy. He did not loan it to you pending your performance. He did not plant it in you as a trial version, waiting for approval. It is irrevocable. It is permanent. It is yours. The enemy has no legal authority to reclassify what God has already decreed. And the fact that he has been screaming this particular lie at this particular volume tells you something important. You are getting dangerously close to walking in it fully. The loneliness you have felt around your gift is not evidence that you imagined it. It is evidence that it is rare. The confusion you have felt about how to use it is not evidence that it was given to the wrong person. It is evidence that it requires a depth of preparation that ordinary paths do not demand. You were not built like everyone else because you were not assigned what everyone else was assigned. The heaviness you feel right now is not punishment. It is not the weight of being overlooked or passed by. It is the weight of something enormous about to be released. It is the pressure of a gift that has been compressed long enough and is now reaching the moment of full expression. You did not miss your window. You have been being refined for it. You did not waste your years. You were being prepared by them. And that moment this week, when you felt invisible, when you pulled back, when you went quiet, instead of performing for validation that was not weakness, that was the mark of someone who knows that what God placed in them does not need the approval of a room to be real. That was not you shrinking. That was you carrying your gift with the kind of dignity that only those who truly carry one understand. What God placed in you was never meant to be compared. And I think somewhere deep down, you already knew that, but the world has spent years trying to convince you otherwise. People around you moved faster, celebrated louder, received more visible signs of progress. And in those quiet moments when no one was watching, when the echoes of other people's triumphs seemed to drown out the still, small voice within, you began to wonder if maybe you read the situation wrong. Maybe the gift was never real, just a fleeting whisper of wishful thinking. Maybe the calling was just your imagination dressed up in hope, a beautiful mirage shimmering on the horizon of your desire. But that right there, that moment of doubt, that fertile ground of uncertainty, is not a sign of weakness. It is the precise location, the hallowed ground, where God does his most sacred and transformative work. It is the crucible where the dross of self-doubt is burned away, leaving behind the pure gold of divine assurance. Some messages don't just inform the mind, they activate the spirit. They are not mere pieces of information, but divine sparks designed to ignite a slumbering fire within. If something stirred deep in your spirit just now, if a recognition, a resonance, a quiet certainty began to dawn within you, you may be ready to receive the Chosen One's blueprint. This sacred guide reveals the 8 divine patterns behind your calling, your suffering, and your destiny. It is more than just a book. It is a roadmap etched by the very hand of God, a spiritual compass designed to orient you towards your unique purpose. It also comes with the full audiobook, so you can absorb its wisdom during prayer, during moments of rest, or in those quiet, intimate moments spent with God, allowing His truth to permeate the very fabric of your being. And for those called to speak His truth, for those carrying the weighty yet glorious burden of prophecy, you'll also receive Activating Your Prophet Mantle, a powerful bonus ebook, a spiritual armament for those carrying a prophetic assignment. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. This is an opportunity, a divine nudge, to step into what has been prepared for you. Here is a profound truth that most people never receive because they are too busy rushing, too distracted by the cacophony of the world, never slowing down long enough to truly hear the whisper of the divine. The gift God placed inside you was never designed to look like anyone else's. Not because yours is lesser, not because yours is inherently greater, but because it was architected, meticulously designed, in a dimension of reality that had only you in mind. Before you even had a name spoken by human lips, before your parents ever dreamed of your face, heaven was already constructing something magnificent, something unique, something within you that the world, in its limited understanding, has no category for. And that is precisely why it has been so difficult to explain yourself, to articulate the essence of what you carry. It is not because something is inherently wrong with you, oh no, but because you were built for a language, a resonance, a vibration that the world hasn't fully learned to speak yet. You are a translator of the heavenly realm, a conduit for a truth that transcends the ordinary. Think about Moses. Here was a man raised in the opulent house of Pharaoh, educated in every discipline Egypt had to offer, positioned at the very epicenter of power and influence. And yet, when God called him to the searing, incandescent glory of the burning bush, Moses didn't stand there radiating confidence and readiness. Instead, he stood there, a tapestry of doubt, listing every conceivable reason why he was the wrong choice. He declared his inability to speak well, a perceived deficiency that would hinder his message. He voiced his concern that the people wouldn't believe him, fearing a rejection of the divine mandate. He said, in essence, "God, I believe you've made a mistake. I think you've confused me with someone else, someone more capable, someone more worthy." And what was God's response? He didn't engage in a debate about Moses's perceived inadequacies. He didn't audit Moses's qualifications or demand a resume. He simply, powerfully declared, "I will be with you." Because the gift, the mission, was never fundamentally about Moses's inherent ability. It was about Moses's availability, his willingness to surrender and become a vessel for what God had already placed, immutably, inside him. And that, my friend, is the first foundational truth you need to grasp. You have been measuring yourself against a standard that was never yours to reach, a yardstick forged by human comparison. You have been comparing your unique gift, this divine spark, to the gifts of those around you, watching them walk into rooms you felt you were standing outside of, a spectator to their progress, wondering with a heavy heart why they were chosen, and you were still waiting. But here's the profound revelation you may have missed. You were never truly waiting outside the door. You were being meticulously prepared in a corridor, a sacred passageway that they, in their different journeys, never had to walk through. And that corridor, with its trials, its lessons, its quiet unfolding, is an integral, indispensable part of the gift itself. It is the shaping, the refining, the forging of the vessel that will carry the divine cargo. But here's where the understanding deepens, and this is the crucial part that most people miss entirely, often leading to profound discouragement. The attack on your gift is not random. It has never been a random occurrence. Think about that for a single, profound moment. The enemy, the adversary of your soul, does not waste precious energy, does not deploy his forces on ordinary things, on talents that pose no significant threat to his kingdom of darkness. You do not witness demonic warfare erupting over a fleeting talent that carries no spiritual weight, no divine mandate. The sheer level of resistance you have experienced, the piercing rejection, the isolating solitude, the prolonged seasons that felt like an impenetrable spiritual silence, that intense opposition is directly proportional to the magnitude of what God has placed within you. They do not dispatch entire armies after messengers who carry nothing of consequence, nothing that can shift the spiritual atmosphere. Consider the story of Joseph. He didn't end up in a pit by some cruel twist of fate, a mere accident of circumstance. His brothers didn't plot against him out of sheer boredom or casual malice. They moved against him with a venom born of envy and fear, because something radiating from Joseph's life, an undeniable anointing, disturbed them on a level they couldn't articulate. The coat of many colors was merely a symbol, a visible manifestation of what they couldn't grasp. What they were truly trying to strip away, to obliterate, was the sacred anointing they could feel like an electric current, but could not name or comprehend. And here lies the breathtaking, divine irony. Every attempt to destroy Joseph, every pit, every betrayal, every unjust accusation became a divine pathway, a meticulously orchestrated road that led him directly, inevitably, into his destiny. The pit was the path. The prison was the divine preparation. And what they intended for utter destruction, God had already signed off on as a divinely ordained delivery mechanism for his purpose. Stay with me now, because what is about to unfold is the part of this message that has the power to break the cycle of frustration and stagnation for most people who truly hear it. It is the key that unlocks the chains of self-limitation. You have been waiting for a permission that has already been irrevocably granted. There exists a deeply ingrained habit of the heart, quiet, subtle, yet powerfully embedded, where you have been seeking external validation, looking for someone else to see and affirm your gift before you fully step into the power and purpose that you carry. You have yearned for the mentor to recognize it first, for the congregation to confirm its legitimacy, for the doors of opportunity to swing wide open, presenting themselves as an official, undeniable invitation. And I understand that yearning. I truly do. Because the gift can feel overwhelmingly large to carry alone, and the fear of being wrong about yourself, of stepping out and failing, feels like an invisible, crushing weight that no one else can fully perceive. But what if the entire season of waiting was never about seeking permission? What if the delay you have been experiencing has been a direct, albeit painful, consequence of holding back something that heaven has already enthusiastically released? Think of the prophet Isaiah. He was in the temple, a place of sacred structure and divine presence, the very year that King Uzziah died. Everything familiar had ended. Everything he thought would provide a bedrock of structure and security had crumbled into dust. And it was in that moment of profound collapse, in the heart of the rubble of his known world, that he had his transcendent encounter, seeing the Lord high and lifted up. His radical transformation did not occur in a season of comfortable stability. It emerged, brilliant and undeniable, in the very ruins of everything that had held him captive, to a safe, manageable, and ultimately limited version of himself. Your gift will never fully emerge, will never unfurl its magnificent wings in the sterile confines of the comfort zone. It never has. It cannot. True blossoming requires the fertile soil of challenge and the invigorating rain of adversity. And this leads us to something that will likely shake the very foundations of how you have been framing your entire spiritual journey. It requires a radical reorientation of your perspective. You have been calling your gift by the wrong name, or, to be more precise, you have been allowing other people, with their limited vantage points and finite understanding, to name it for you. You have let the church name it, often reducing its vastness to a recognizable function. You've let the culture name it, shaping it to fit transient trends and societal expectations. You've allowed the very people who couldn't receive it, who resisted its unique frequency, to define its boundaries. And every name that was not bestowed upon you directly by God is a restrictive label, a limitation that does not belong on the magnificent creation that heaven designed. Because when people name your gift from their perspective, they invariably name it according to what they can use, what they can understand, what fits comfortably within their current capacity. But God never builds gifts to fit inside human frameworks. His creations are designed to expand and transcend them. He builds gifts that break frameworks open, shattering limitations and revealing new possibilities. What is about to unfold in the next few moments is the part of this message that I have personally witnessed shift individuals who have been stuck, feeling adrift and powerless for years. So, I implore you, remain present, be fully here. There is a profound silence within your gift that can easily be mistaken for absence, for emptiness, but is in reality a powerful process of accumulation, of gestation. Every moment you spent alone in contemplation, every prayer that seemed to hit the ceiling and bounce back unanswered, every season where it felt like God had gone utterly quiet, nothing was wasted. Heaven does not waste silence. It utilizes it with divine intention. Just as a musician rests between notes, not because the song has ceased, but because the next sound requires that deliberate pause to land with its full, resonant weight, God has been using your silence to calibrate the precise frequency, the perfect pitch, of what you are about to carry into the world. It is the quiet before the magnificent symphony. Consider the prophet Elijah. Exhausted, depleted, and utterly overwhelmed, he ran into the wilderness and, in the depths of his despair, asked God to take his life. He had just performed a miracle of cosmic proportions, a breathtaking display of divine power, and in its wake he collapsed under the crushing weight of his own exhaustion and fear. And what did God send him? Not a stern lecture, not a theological treatise on perseverance. God sent sustenance. He sent bread. An angel touched him and whispered, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you." There are seasons where God meets you precisely in your depletion, not to condemn you for your weakness, but to nourish you, to replenish you for the immense journey that lies ahead. Because the path unfolding requires a version of you that has not yet been fully fed, a spirit that needs to be strengthened before it can soar. You are being fed right now. Even in this moment, even through these words, a divine nourishment is seeping into your spirit, preparing you for what is to come. And now, we arrive at the place that holds the potential to change everything, and I need you to remain with me here, with an open heart and mind, because this is the part that tends to surface the most profound resistance, the deepest inner conflict. The thing that has most significantly delayed the full manifestation of your gift is not the enemy's relentless attacks. It is not the shadows of your past. It is not the people who misunderstood you or the doors that slammed shut with unyielding finality. The thing that has most delayed your gift is the deeply ingrained part of you that still clings to the belief that you need to somehow earn the right to carry it. It is that persistent whisper, that insidious voice that murmurs, "When I'm more ready, when I've healed more, when I've studied enough, when the fear finally dissipates, then I will step in." That voice, my friend, often masquerades as wisdom. It sounds like humility, but it is neither. It is the oldest counterfeit in spiritual history, beautifully dressed in the language of patience and prudent preparation, but rooted in something far more ancient and insidious, the primal fear that if you fully step into what God has called you to, and it doesn't manifest precisely the way you have meticulously imagined, you will have nothing left to hide behind, no pretense to sustain you. But here is the liberating truth. God does not call you because you are ready. He calls you because He is ready, and He has chosen you as His instrument. And the profound moment you truly understand this fundamental distinction, the crushing weight of self-imposed preparation begins to fall away from your shoulders, replaced by something infinitely more powerful and liberating, a complete surrender to a divine process that was already magnificently underway before you ever uttered your hesitant yes. And here is the final, foundational truth, the truth that lies beneath even that. Your gift is not ultimately for you. I know that statement might seem obvious on the surface, but its true, profound depth has not yet landed for most people who carry something truly significant within them. Because if your gift were solely and truly for your own comfort, your own benefit, your own personal enjoyment, the enemy would largely leave it undisturbed. If your gift were merely about your personal comfort, your individual success, your enhanced visibility, it would not necessitate this level of spiritual warfare, this relentless preparation, this arduous stripping away of everything that felt safe, predictable, and comfortable. The reason the assignment has felt so immensely heavy, so demanding, is because the people connected to your gift, those whose lives are destined to be touched and transformed by it, are carrying a weight that only what resides within you can ultimately lift. There are souls praying right now, earnestly praying, for something that only your courageous obedience can answer. There are lives waiting, poised on the precipice of destiny, for a word, a sound, a presence, a story, a divine impartation that can only come from you walking fully, unreservedly, into what God has sovereignly placed inside you. This is not about personal pride. This is not about ego or self-aggrandizement. This is about profound responsibility. The gift was never yours to hoard, to keep locked away in a vault of self-doubt. It was always, only ever, yours to carry with integrity and then, with sacred intention, to release. So tonight, before you surrender to sleep, place your hand gently on your heart, feel the steady rhythm of life within you, and declare this with me, with all the conviction of your spirit. I release the suffocating need to be understood before I move. I release every label, every limiting belief that was placed upon me by people who could not see what heaven sees, who could not comprehend the divine architecture within me. I release the paralyzing fear that I am not enough, and I shatter the insidious lie that I have arrived too late. I receive, with an open and willing heart, the fullness of what God placed within me before I drew my first breath, before the universe even knew my name. I receive the unyielding courage to carry this precious gift into every space that has been patiently waiting for its arrival. I receive the boundless grace to walk in my God-ordained purpose without apology and without shrinking back into the shadows. I am not behind. I am not forgotten. I am not confused. I am precisely, unequivocally, exactly who God declared me to be and what He placed in me. No delay, no relentless attack, and no deceptive voice of doubt has the ultimate authority to revoke. I step forward, I step in, and I trust, with a faith that moves mountains, that every corridor I walked through, every season of preparation, was an essential foundation for every room I am about to enter. This is your season, not the one that is coming after this, not a future, idealized season. This one, right now. And the magnificent gift residing inside you already knows it, resonating with the truth of this moment. Some messages don't just inform, they activate. If something stirred deep in your spirit just now, you may be ready to receive the Chosen One's blueprint. This sacred guide reveals the 8 divine patterns behind your calling, your suffering, and your destiny. It also comes with the full audiobook, so you can absorb it during prayer, rest, or quiet moments with God. And for those called to speak His truth, you'll also receive Activating Your Prophet Mantle, a powerful bonus ebook for those carrying a prophetic assignment. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time.